From an economic point of view, and I guess as chartered accountants you were forced through that module as part of your training, then you know that we just simply, in the simplest sense, we just look at the economy in terms of the demand side and the supply side. And when we want to look at the demand side and we want to understand where might the UK economy be going, and we want to look at it in a macro sense, then that favourite model of the circular flow of income kicks in, and it basically instructs us, and you can see this with the Bank of England when it writes its quarterly report on the economy. It basically says what's happening in 4 key parts of the economy. What's happening in households, what's happening with firms, what's happening with the government sector, and what's happening with exports or net exports. And it forms a view on what's likely to be happening in each of those. So it's quite simple to understand where the economy might be going if you're informed about what those 4 areas are likely to be progressing to in the future. And I think even though we've got a stable economy at present, then the reticence that's around, the uncertainty that's around about the economy will feed into business decisions and will feed into household expenditure decisions. Now, I don't think that says that the economy will plummet quickly. I just think it's a very obvious way in which the economy will be slow in generating any particular growth going forward. Can the government afford to get into the economy and spend? Perhaps. Interest rates are at historic low levels. Its ability to borrow is good. Does it have the political inclination to go out and increase government borrowing to facilitate expansion in the UK economy? I would guess it does not, but Peter may have a different view on that. The EU represents less than half of UK exports. A significant chunk of 44%, but it represents less than half. And it won't vanish. We remain and we will remain one of the world's biggest economies in GDP. We are one of the most successful economies in terms of GDP per capita. We are one of the most open economies in the world, and the world knows that they are welcome to come here and do business, buy our businesses and succeed in this country. So I strongly suspect that those in the EU know that and will be very interested in ensuring that whatever the deal of Brexit is, that they will have access to this economy. It makes business sense. What's going on with the other 56% of UK exports is quite interesting. It's the rest of the world, and it has been the fastest growing part of our exports. So whilst the EU represents about 44%, the rest of the world represents about 56%. Each year that grows, but the rest of the world bit grows faster.
How did leaving affect your students? Were they still around, or had they broken up, or were you not in place when it happened?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
But no, our students. Some of our students. We have a mixed number of students from the UK, from the EU, and international. And I think quite naturally some of our students were wondering what was the next step and were they welcome in the UK. But the university was very quick off the mark and had a response out and has been keen to reassure all our students that they're very much welcome. Their studies are assured, and many of the senior management team have been holding meetings with staff as well, so we've got many international staff, and with students explaining what our position is and what the position of the country is at present, and that they are more than welcome to stay and complete their studies.
Did you find, because the gentleman who talked about his own children, and Peter, answered the question, but given that you're on the ground with young people, did you find that there was outrage from UK born?
No, I've not seen any outrage, and like most universities, we have a fairly active student union. No outrage there. At the same time, I've got a daughter who's 18, and this summer was doing A levels, which included politics, economics, and history, and she gave some quite erudite explanations for why she was voting out. So I think the students, that body of people do hold very different views on it.
Well, there is life after Brexit, isn't there? Has your coursework changed?
Our coursework will undoubtedly have to change. But what we are actually about, and what we as professional educators have to work out and understand, is what will happen in the future is not in the textbooks. And whether that is a Brexit, whether that's a financial crisis, whether that's a world that we've seen with low oil prices now for 2 years, it's just unknown. And so we prepare our students to have the intellectual frameworks to deal with the challenges of the future, which today are unknown.
Which you can't, because my last question was, did your predictions come true?
My predictions did come true, which for the economic profession is quite unique.
You were the only one.
I did vote to leave. I did think it was a very finely balanced argument. I could see the risks. I thought, and I do believe, that we are positioned as an economy with strengths around our ability to change. We're a very competitive economy with some very competitive industries. We're very open to trade. The world enjoys coming to the UK to do business, and I felt that those were key strengths that would support us going forward. I'm not yet going to declare that that Brexit has been a success. I think we've got a stable economy at the present, where I don't believe that the risks have gone, and so the challenges do remain, but I believe we're positioned to succeed.
I suppose we've also got a lot of very well-educated, talented people in this country, and we speak the world's international language.
I think so, but
apart from the Chinese.
Yeah, but look at other problems which we've got. We've got quite strong property prices in London, and they're driven by international people wanting to be in this country and wanting to have assets in this country and wanting to be part of what this economy has to offer. And that's post-Brexit as well. And I think that is what will see us, is an example of what will see us through the transition.